this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler. I want to welcome you back to the 100 Days of Zentangle Project 2021. Thank you all so much for being here with me today and each day on this journey. We have something very special for today. My friend and CZT in Germany, Nadine Roller, is going to be with us today via video, and she is going to be stepping out her new pattern called Fafricon. And it is very cool and dramatic, and you guys are going to love it. But before we get started with Nadine's video, I am going to be drawing along with you guys, picture in picture. So you're not going to miss anything at all, and neither am I. What we're going to do today is we're going to use a very simple string. And so to begin with, I want to do our normal squared off border. That's my name for a border with no loops in it. I need a loopy border this year. I haven't done one in ages. Okay. All right, just like this. And then I want you to grab another tile and turn it face down. And I want you to leave us a little bit of a ribbon area here in the corner. And I want you to trace around that with your pencil from border to border. Okay? And then inside this, we're going to draw a partial aura. I just want to go again from border to border. Okay? Like this. And this is the area that we're going to work on with Nadine. Now, before you get started on your tile, I highly recommend that you get your sketch pads out and draw this with us and see how it goes. For me, I have gone through this several times now, and it has worked out really well. However, I am glad that I had time to practice it a couple of times before I drew it in front of an audience, if you will. So we're going to get started now, and good luck, and I'm going to see you at the end of the video.
Hello, my name is Nadine Roller. Today I want to show you my pattern Fafricon and a little bijou tile. I start with micron 01, leave a little place here, start with 1 stroke, 2, 3, 4. Leave a little space here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn your tile, then complete as if it's a square. Leave a little space here, like this. The same here. Here, maybe you can turn your tile so you can look here. Next step is to connect a curvy line . And now the next step, here it's important that you extend the line in half. You always extend these lines in half. Go back with a curvy line and close. Turn your tile. Extend the line in half. Go back and close. Extend the line here in half. Go back and close here. Extend until here. Okay. Extend the line in half. Back and close. Always like this. Turn your tile. Okay. Now I extend these lines to the outside. Here. Turn my tile. Extending here. 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 And now each of these stars, here, I forgot these. Okay. Now there's this hole left. Just extend these lines. These lines like here and here. Now every corner is connected. Connecting here. Extend the lines. Turn your tile. Extending here. Turn my tile. Extending here. And here. I extend here. And the last one. Here. And now you can take your graphic 1 or Micron 08 and fill the spaces. I will fill the little ones today. turn my tile. Always turn your tile to feel comfortable in your hand. And now there's a lot of ink at these black spaces. Maybe it's a little bit wet now, so I have to be careful to continue, not to smudge. Yes, now tangling is over and we will shade. I always like to shade on the outside of the curves. I start here. And the next one outside of the curve. The next one here. Here, the last one. And now the others also outside of the curve. But there are many different ways to shade, so please make your own way, take your own way to shade outside of the curve. For me, this is the easiest way to shade. Here. One left. Then you take your tortillon to complete shading. I love it how it gets more and more three-dimensional. This pattern is dedicated to my family and friends. That's why the name Fa like family, Free like friends, and Con like connections. Because we are all connected with each other. It's always good when you leave white space, that there's not so much gray everywhere. You need dark and light when you shade. Okay, look at this. I like it. How nice. Here are my initials and my name. And the pattern name, Fafrikan by. Here you have some more examples. I experimented with colors. Another one here. This one is full of mistakes, but I like it. This one is very wonky, but it looks nice, I think. It's very small. And this one in round shape, here you can see these are the shapes and connected to the border.
Thank you so much, Nadine, for allowing me to share your step out video and this beautiful, beautiful new pattern that you have designed. And we are really going to enjoy using it in our tile today. Thank you. All right, guys. So some important words in there, namely leave some space. Otherwise you have this. And there's nothing wrong with this. If it's bunched together, it's still going to work. You can see I made mistakes on here, but it's going to be fine. It all works out, okay? So let's look at this tile and see what we've got left and see what possibilities we still have. So I think I am going to try to put this pattern around this corner. And I think in order to make that work, I'm going to have to start with the square in the corner. And so my little rounded section will be right here. So I'm going to have one top here, and these will be significantly larger, I think, than this. So we'll probably only have maybe 3 to 5. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to draw this part with my 01 in black. Okay. We're going to see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here. I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to find out. And here. And here. I started too far up. Try to give yourself a little room. Much better. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to leave this blank. This is going to be an interesting turn here. So I'm just going to make these connect and not worry about, or you know what, I'm going to go this way because I know what's going to happen over here and we're going to see. So I think I'm just going to be able to fit one more in here. I want to leave a nice space here, not too much. Okay. Wow, that ended up being a little larger than I was expecting. So rather too small than too large on these, because you can always extend them, but you can't take them back. All right. And then I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm just going to do my thing. And we're going to have a wonky thing, a wonky square here, but that's going to be all right. Let's extend this a little bit. Are you going to come and join me, Simba? Come on, up. Here. Good boy. Good boy. All right. And then now I'm going to edge up on my border here when I start drawing in my elements, but I think that's going to be fine. Don't forget when you're doing this to skip this space in between. Remember, try to think of these like individual squares and not as a line of lines. Yeah, I lay awake night thinking these up. Okay, now connecting the corners with the curve, with the C curve. Try not to get these too crazy. What we're going to want is the ability to go straight out either way, since that's what we will be doing. Okay. I think if you think like that, that will help you get them more uniform. And they don't have to be perfect. By the time we get all the lines drawn in, now I'm going to do that like that. I know it's not going to work, but we're going to be fine with it. I'm going to be fine with it. Unfortunately, that's not a line we're going to extend. So I'm going to have to live with it. Okay. Now I'm going to start putting in my side elements. So the one thing that I changed from the way that Nadine draws hers in, and there's nothing wrong with the way she draws hers, of course, and there's nothing wrong with doing this either, is I like to extend my little baseline out first and then do my half thing. Because I have trouble getting this straight. It's always slanted, and I want that to be straight so that when I extend this line out, it's going to work. Okay, so that's all I do is I extend this line out. I'm able to judge how far out it needs to go by the last one I drew, like that. Now, you can do it either way. It doesn't matter. It's just, for me, this worked a little bit better. And again, there's neither way is right or wrong. It's just two different ways to arrive at the same destination. Like this. That is such a cool start to this. All right, go over here and repeat. Go half up. River's in the house today. So is Simba. He's just a lot quieter. Usually, sometimes. Okay, he's really not. He just lets her do her thing these days. So you can see, doesn't have to be perfect, which again is always good for me. I am not going to worry about this. I'm just going to keep doing my thing. There is a very good chance that no one is going to notice it. They're going to have lots of other issues to look at, and that's going to be fine with me. I loved Nadine's wonky versions, and the one that she said was full of mistakes, I thought was great. A feast for the eyes. So, now this is going to be interesting. To draw behind or not draw behind, that is the question. I'm going to leave that like that for now, and we're going to see what happens. And so this should be further up here, I think, and then we'd have been able to fit 2 more in there. But, you know, live and learn and all that jazz. And I think this is going to be just fine the way it is. Like this. And we're going to have a teeny tiny little square. Right there. See? Perfect. All right, let's finish up with this one. I think I'm going to encroach. I can always make this smaller if that's what I want to do. But it's definitely in my way because I didn't draw this far enough up. I like several things about this pattern very much. One of the things I like about it is that even though it's basically a grid pattern, you can do all sorts of fun organic-y stuff with it. So I'm going to finish this up real quick and see how it turns out with the lines extending. Now this would be an interesting opportunity here to meld this and the 2 colors. I don't know that that's what I want to do now yet, so I'm just going to leave that for now. I'm going to extend that. I will give you guys a hint. If you have trouble extending your lines without making a mess, as I frequently do, try taking off from the line that is already there, and I think that may help you. It helps me. Taking off from the line that's already there. And then I tend to be a little bit less messy that way. But you know, with me, it's a crapshoot most days. All right. All right. Here we go. None of these others would link up, although this would work here. And I still am not sure. on this. I'm thinking about adding some sort of a small border here and having these go underneath, and then they could disappear one color and appear another. Maybe that would work. Maybe it wouldn't. Let's see where we get with this. So I'm going to start, whoops, I forgot a couple over here. I'm going to start the next phase with my larger ink pen. And I'm going to use a 05 in black. Assuming it works. And I'm once again going to ink these little boxes. I already got that one. That one was not a chore. It was an easy one. That is a big pool of ink, so I need to make sure not to scrub across it. Now, if you have trouble with big nibbed pens, you might try the 05 for filling in ink spots like I'm using. It's got a nice ink flow, but the nib isn't quite so large as the 08, or especially the graphic one. And even though those are very quick to lay down ink, for those of us with shaky hands, that can be a problem. So, you know, you really, one of the reasons there are so many different tools for the same job is because every user is a little bit different. Okay, so I've got this so far, and I am thinking about inking these outer edges. I love Nadine's examples with that inked, the dark starkness of that. And I'm still thinking about this border or this separation between these two patterns. And I'm thinking. So I'm going to get my 01 in brown back out. And I'm going to draw in this penciled line, this border line. Okay. Now, because I went over the outer edge of it here, I'm going to have to move this border in a little bit so that it will fit. So I think I better start over here so I know, because I know how far over I'm going to need to be here. So let's see. So let's just make this a thin line. Okay. And so now I had intended to maybe tangle in here, but I don't think that's going to be possible now. It's too small. Or I could do something extremely simple like Shattuck. Let's do that. This pattern, there's a reason we use it a lot. It's very simple and it fits in tiny spaces. It has a great effect. Now you can't really have as much fun with the shading on this because it's so small, but you can do some. And it turns the corners so well. Take your time. Don't forget to breathe. Thank you, my enders, for checking in with me yesterday. You guys make me smile when I read your comments. Hi to Lisa. And Erica. Yeah, so that worked pretty well. I may draw around the edges with my 05 to sort of give that some oomph. That's scary for me, so we'll hold on that. Okay, so now I can extend out my ink. So I'm going to switch back to my black 01. Okay. Really take your time with these line extensions so that you can do a nice clean job. That's the biggest problem I had with this pattern, was keeping clean lines. Now, we have something else here that's really cool that we can do. And this was inspired by Nadine about the second time that I watched this through. Anyway, and it occurred to me that what would be really cool, because of the name of this, is if we would put the initials of some people or pets or something that we love in here. And I'll show you how an easy way to do that. You can take your pencil. For example, I'm going to put an M for my baby, an S for Simba, an R river, and an E. Can anybody guess what that's for? Enders. Because y'all rock. And I love you. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to just aura around this. Like that. Okay, not my best work, but it'll work. Yeah. Like that. Okay. Then the next thing I want to do is draw in an inner aura. Perhaps I should have started with this, but why make it easier when you can make it tougher? That's what I say. Aren't these pretty? All right. And then the next thing is I'm going to add some diagonal hatch lines, or just some arid lines that go diagonally. So I try to get a good angle and then I work out from there. Just try to make them nice and tight. Don't worry if they're not perfect by the time it's shaded. Nobody will know. Toughest thing here is to just keep the angle the same. You can sparkle those, but it's not necessary. Isn't that cute? Let's do the rest of these. And as you can see, they don't have to be perfect, but they're still effective. I like this look. It sort of looks engraved. Oop. I don't know what her deal is. Now I think I'm going to go ahead and ink around the edges. So I'll have to be careful with that. Settle down. Settle down. River. No. Okay. When you use a lot of ink on their outer sides, that makes the shading on the inside even more important. That kid's evil. Mari and I have this long-standing argument about his ringtone on his phone, that he needs to turn it on because he never answers when I call him. And he has his little 11-year-old unreasonable thing going on. And so we had this discussion again last night, and what does he do? He turns he turns it on, and the ringer or the ringtone or the ringer on today while he's gone to school, and leaves it so it will ring and I can hear it. He's ornery. He's very, very bad, my child, but I love him. It's the little things, isn't it? Isn't it? Okay. Now I really like that. And when I deepen the shading, and let's talk about shading on this. Of course, I'm going to do more. Now that we've got these areas inked, and of course I want to be really careful right now because they're very wet. But to deepen the shading, and my first inclination is to shade on the inside, on the opposite side that Nadine shaded on. But, and I may do that over here just for a difference. But you may shade it, as she said, however you wish. Take your own way. Because you can't get it wrong. You can get it different, but you can't get it wrong. Nothing wrong with getting it different. Thank God. Thank God. Because I get it different a lot. It's really hard to get up here and get dark by the inked spots. Just be careful you don't scrub too much. All right. And so once this is sort of darkened up, let me grab the tortillon and blend really quickly. Being very careful not to scrub over the inked spots. And then since we're using a Renaissance tile or a tanned tile, a tan toned tile, I can never say that without laughing, okay? Then we can also drop in just a tiny bit of white charcoal. Tiny bit's about all I've got. See if I can do it. Let's see how that looks. Because Nadine said something very wise when she said you need both lights and darks when you shade. Very right. Very true. And I was thinking Yeah, so that will really bring that out. I was also thinking on our letters. Oh, no, I don't want that one. I want gold jelly roll. Yeah. Because this is going to be awesome. Those flow so nicely, you just kind of have to push it around. Can't see, but there. Nice little touch, right? You could also do this with white or silver. I just think gold plus Renaissance equals yay. That's my kind of math. Anything else is no. When it stops flowing as well, just wipe it off. That usually regenerates it very nicely. Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. So fun stuff. Then up here, so this is the way I'm going to finish this up, and I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do in here. Maybe I'll just draw an orb or something like that, or I might go ahead and ink it. I haven't decided yet. It's the perfect place for something cool. I just don't know yet what. And then over here, I may do some more letters, or I might do something completely different. And I will definitely be using a lot of ink. I have a Sakura brush pen in black that looks like this. And the tip is like this. And what I intend to do is just, let's see, where am I sure I'm going to use black over here? And I'm just going to use this to get my black on. You may use whatever you want on yours if you're going to ink. However, my suggestion for you is that you use something that is not water-based so that it does not smudge after it's dry. Water-based markers are great and they will work. Another option for this is alcohol markers. I have some Blick Studios markers that I used on my TAIGA sky, and I did want to mention that for you enders. A lot of you asked about what I did on the sky for TAIGA. What I did was I used 2 alcohol markers, one black and one dark blue. And I used the black one first, and I covered the whole thing as best I could to the eye. And then I learned this trick in adult coloring, which was to use black and then go over it with the dark blue. They mix together well, they give a great look, and that certainly happened with that. It filled in, and so it looked bluer in all the spots where the black wasn't quite as heavy, and black where it was heavier. And so that's kind of what I ended up with, and it turned out great. I just put jelly roll on top, so I was pleased with my result. So unfortunately, enders, I need to leave you here today. We're at an hour, and I have not been feeling well, and I've got a doctor's appointment to go to, so I'm going to head out to that. I appreciate your patience with me today. I hope that you guys have enjoyed Fafricon, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. I can't wait to finish my tile. I think this is going to be awesome. I think I'm just going to embellish and decorate in here, so I think it's going to be fun. I am going to see you guys tomorrow for day 60. Oh my gosh, unless today is day 60. I don't know. All right, guys, this is where I'm going to leave you today. Thank you so much for being with me, and I'm going to see you tomorrow.